Wait, were you not around during like the British vlogger invasion?
The British vlogger invasion?
Yeah.
Like literally just 10 years ago on the internet, being British was like the coolest thing ever.
Okay,
right before I got on it.
Let's
I guess
forget
I
about
erased that from my memory because, like, thank God.
I'm with you.
Let's forget about the Tuesday era for a second.
Yeah.
There was an era of British culture where every American thought he was cool. You know, mostly because of like Harry Potter. Actually, back when that was.
Yeah,
like,
no, Americans like
American.
a good chunk of Americans still think like that's England is Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Like they think it's real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just an entire country.
Ruin my fantasy.
I mean, a lot of Japanese people think that way as well. To be
Oh
fair.
yeah. Oh no, I've been to Harajuku. I know what Japanese people think America looks like right now. It's like they were trying to sell me like Yankee sweaters and shit. I'm like, no man, I'm good.
How has it been being possibly the biggest person in Japan right
Dude,
now?
it's so fucking sad, dude. It's so because like I grew up being fascinated by like Japanese fashion, thinking like, you know, Japanese garments, like the history of it, you know, post World War II, like raw denim, all this stuff, right? And I finally come to Japan and I'm, I guess, weaving out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I go to like Harajuku and I see everyone is so dripped out. They're dressed so well. And then I'm like, I'm touching the clothes, but I can't wear them. Every store I went to, they made fun of me. They laughed at me. Every store. I walk into the store and I go, what's the largest size you have, just in general?
Yeah.
He goes, medium. I'm like, motherfucker, that means in the middle. Like, there's got to be more sizes after medium.
And the thing is, that's a Japanese medium as well.
Yeah, it's probably a small American small.
Yeah. It's like, bro, you guys love American culture, but for some reason you don't have anything fitting American sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Jean Street and I have like a Western sized ass, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was impossible to get anything that fit. So I got one that fit, but the legs were like this long extra because they thought that like to
to
equivalent.
accommodate.
And then I had to tell them, can you please like cut it, please? But it was really nice denim though.
Yeah.
But
You're just rubbing it in his face.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I had the opposite problem.
Yeah.
So I want like, you have sick pants. Okay, you guys can't see, but he's wearing like super cool, like kind of parachute pants, right?
Yeah.
And they're all the rage. And I want to buy one. I finally, after a long day of getting owned everywhere I went, I'm about to call my Uber taxi.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I see a Beams Plus. I walk in. There's a fat guy. Okay, immediately I rush to him. He's the first fat retail guy I've seen. Okay, in Japan. I'm like, bro, please help me. I'm like, please. And he looked at me and he knew immediately what my problem was.
Yeah.
I got you. And you know, he brought out like a bunch of these like pants. I put it on. The first one is like kind of tight, but it's fine. But it's a little bit short. Okay, I'm like, okay, well this is fitted anyway. Like it's not supposed to be, but it's fitted on me. And then I finally see these parachute pants. I put them on. They're fucking capris on me, dude. They're supposed to go down to your foot. They were like above they were above my ankles.
I guess I have the opposite problem. My ratio, my ass to leg ratio is like all fucked up and you have the opposite end of that.
Well, yeah, because like he was so happy that he like found some stuff for me and I put it on and I was just like, now it's too short.
I failed you. I'm sorry.
But the worst of both worlds, you're tall and you're massive as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's either one or the other that you can get here in Japan.
Yeah.
The arm length is like really terrible too.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wears like oversized stuff now, so that's cool. Like at least I can like find things that fit usually, right? But like I'll put on I just want a fucking trench coat. Like everyone in Japan, they love wearing those long trench coats.
Yeah.
They kind of look like normal jackets on me, which is fine. Like I'll still wear it. Every time I wear a trench coat, the arm comes to here. I'm like, no shot. Like it's just here. Can't do it.
You're like a real life Baki character.
Yeah, you are.
It sucks.
You've watched Baki, right?
Yeah.
Is there any political messages in Baki that I didn't realize?
Dude, Baki's just insane. There's no.
Did I miss anything?
Well, I mean, I told you about. I think like, Che Guevara is like literally in the show. As long,
Yeah.
and in the manga, I know like Donald Trump is in the manga.
Yeah.
No, it's super political.
Yeah.
It's like a whole like Muhammad Ali arc.
Yeah.
There's that
I
too.
mean, Yujiro goes to meet Barack Obama.
Oh my god, he's
yeah.
a bomb.
Yeah.
What's political? What am I saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but even then, it's like there's no like consistent political message
no.
at all. It's
There's
just
no
like,
consistent anything in it.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he just put shit in because he thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me because I love that. Like, it's so sick because every time I rewatch it, like whenever I'm in the gym, when I'm working out, I'm thinking I'm him. Like, I'm literally like, like blocking push through this, soaking on. You know what I mean? Just have to have sex to power up real quick.
The best
As my
session.
father watches in the shadows. Like,
It's like consumer.
yeah, it's the most psychotic thing I've ever seen. He's just like, beat it up, son.
I don't know how he did this, but somehow he tries and almost manages to frame it as like something epic.
Yeah.
Which is just weird because
It is epic.
It's fucking weird though. Like you
It
said,
is so weird.
The
When
speech, the speech when the father goes, you need to fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck every day. And I'm like, damn, I need to get out and fuck,
You
man.
just spitting, dude.
He's going to solve Japan's birth rate problem by himself, man. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, Shinzo Abe could never. Isn't that a thing? I thought he like didn't like the hikikomoris and the weebs and shit because like all they do is like watch hentai instead of fuck.
Back to the video. So what other hot anime takes you have?
Yeah, I'm invested.
Oh,
now.
I'm
invested.
invested. He told me this garbage one. Tell me
Oh,
what he told me.
okay. This one's a spicy one. Okay. So a lot of people have opinions on Attack on Titan, on like whether it's fascist or communist. I don't care about that. I like Attack on Titan a lot. I think it's very interesting. It's the only, I'm not a big fan of this genre, but it's the only mecha anime I watch. Attack on Titan is a mecha anime. Let's discuss.
What is there to discuss? There's nothing to discuss. It's just.
You know what?
No,
he's right.
No, don't.
Yes,
He's
he's
right.
right. Yeah, he is right.
Okay. Question. Is fucking Ratatouille a mecha?
Could be. No, good question. No.
Because if Attack on Titan is, Ratatouille's a mecha.
Okay, that's a
He's
good question.
fucking piloting him.
Technically, it could be.
Oh my
okay?
God.
Technically, it could be. But if AOT is not mecha, then what about Eva's?
See, there's a part
They're
of me.
organic. They're aliens.
But they're also-
First of all,
yeah,
spoilers.
okay.
Second of all, like I don't know. Ava for me is really weird because it's like at first glance it tries to present itself as a mecha.
Yeah.
But then the further you go along, you realize it's not a mecha. It's just a fucking sci-fi.
No, Joey, Ava, wait, you're not gonna, we're not going down this road.
Ava is a sci-fi.
Joey, Ava is a mecha, and I don't know how you can.
Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah,
I
it's
love
great.
Hunter.
Oh,
so
another.
good.
Okay, I have another spicy Hunter x
Okay,
Hunter take. Are you ready?
All right, let's go.
I think the Chimera Ant arc is too long.
That's a common take.
Okay. Okay.
That was like
People get so mad at me when I say this.
Well,
But-
I
a
mean,
lot of people like the Chimera Ant.
I like
it's
it a lot.
great, yeah.
But like if you literally just look at the episodes or chapters comparatively, it is
Yeah.
like more than everything else combined before it.
Yeah.
Because it's like what 80 episodes in the anime.
Yeah.
Or something.
Jesus.
It's like
It's like half the anime, I feel.
Yeah, and the anime is 144 or something, and it's most of it.
Yeah.
And it's long.
It is long, and I think the first part of the Chimera Ant arc was a little bit slow. Just a
yeah, for
little
sure.
bit slow.
Yeah.
And then
Hunter x Hunter, greatest pedophile villain of all time.
I mean,
another common take.
It's just like it's just so crazy.
is
He's like
wild,
licking
yeah.
his lips, thinking
It is.
about going.
Yeah.
it is wild to see the extent that people will go online to defend a pedophile if he's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. They shouldn't have made him so cool.
He's like,
that's what's fucked up.
Because he's like the strongest guy.
Yeah, they should have been like, that's a bad guy and he's weak.
No, he's like literally the most strongest, most mysterious character in the show.
I feel like they really limit tested that because Hisoka's always been like a creepy character, right? And then there's the scene where he literally says, "I'm getting an erection right now," and it's just like, okay,
No, I don't know if that's limit testing at that point. They broke through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're like, okay, can you? This still your man's after this scene? This still your
It's
man's?
insane. Shonen Jump looked at that and was like, yeah, publish it. Let's go.
One of the most epic fights in the manga.
Yeah.
Is between what's his name, Crollo,
Yeah.
and Hisoka.
Yeah.
They fight in the manga. And it's like insane. It's like the most insane fight if you can get through his really bad manga drawings.
Oh yeah. Oh well, he usually repatches it for the
I haven't
actual
seen the new
volumes.
ones.
Yeah.
He would. It's been cancelled now. So
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's not happening anymore. But he did
Not because of the pedophile.
No.
No, like just cancelled as in the series or something.
Unfortunately, that doesn't get you cancelled in Japan.
Yeah.
But
We gotta finish it, dude. I'm a completionist.
His drawings were like so bad. It's
because he had a serious
he
like,
had a
back
really bad
problem.
back pain. But it's
Yeah.
like at that point, you're like, just wait, just hold up.
Why don't they like? You can't have someone else like try to recreate it. Don't mangakas also have like apprentices? And
They do,
shit?
they
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They have
But
editors and
Togashi
producers.
is like known as like a super perfectionist. Like I think during Yu Yu Hakusho, he didn't have a single assistant. Like
Yeah.
he drew all that himself.
But like,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
mangas are overworked to death.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
he's been going through some bad health, and that's been like pretty well
Yeah.
known. So I mean, it's
I'm
not
not trying to
surprising.
hate on the guy, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, we all,
unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I think after what happened to Kentaro Miura, like Berserk's author,
Yeah.
I think every manga is like, oh, this is a thing that can happen now.
Yeah.
Okay, I better look after myself. And I
Yeah.
think, luckily, I think after that, fans are a lot more understanding about.
I finally have an excuse to actually start Hunter x Hunter now that I know it's not coming back.
Yes, Joey, finally,
So finally I can start reading it.
Yeah.
I feel like just like some of the most iconic fights in anime are in Hunter x Hunter. There's just so many
Yeah.
banger fights that
But-
don't drag on too long. I feel.
Also political. You got healthcare.
wait. Okay, break that down for me.
The fucking what's the guy? It's so long since I watched it, but the main guy
Oh, yeah.
is not going the tall one with the glasses.
Fuck. Oh god, I'm forgetting his name. Leorio.
Leorio, yeah.
Bro, why is he even involved? Why is he involved? Because he wants to fucking pay for healthcare. It's true. It's true.
I guess it's an American take where you just see healthcare like that's about me.
No, I'm just saying, like, but that's literally why he wants to do it, because like, he needs to pay for healthcare. And then healthcare, another Oda reference, back to fucking the Snow Island, whichever, what was the name of that?
Yeah, Chopper.
Yeah.
Drum Island, that's it.
Yeah, Drum Island is literally about paywalling healthcare. It is. The guy goes and arrests every doctor and is like, I'm gonna control the healthcare now.
You may not like it, but this is what the US will be like in 2 years.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. How do you watch that and not realize that?
I guess I don't know.
You just thought like, oh, the doctors.
It ain't that deep, bro. Honestly, like, it ain't.
I felt like it wasn't that deep.
No,
It 100% is that.
no, it is not that.
I will ride, dude. I hope Oda watches your podcast, dude.
He does not watch
Okay,
the
okay,
podcast.
okay. The reason I don't think it's that deep is because most of the world don't really think about healthcare because it's not
inherently an American problem.
Yeah,
No,
it's not an issue, it's not a topic. We just
way.
accept it.
He recognizes it. He knows
He's
it's
sticking
wrong.
up for us.
He sees how bad it is. He's like, Drum Island's very similar to America.
Yeah, you got the magical witch at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's so I don't even
She's
want
just
that.
giving. Dude, that's another crazy thing for me with One Piece is like, I don't know what is going on with like the way women are drawn. And now I'm on Amazon Lily. I'm on the Amazon Lily like arc now. So it's like, this is the first time I've seen versatility because Oda either draws women like the most busted you've ever seen or just the same hot, like super sexy type.
Yeah, I genuinely, and I don't talk about too much, but one problem I've had is figuring out who is Nami. Because in the manga, there's no colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your contention on JAV?
Oh, I mean, I got a lot. I'm very pro sex work. I actually I used to date a porn star who like actually shot some porn here in Japan too.
Okay.
I'm friends with some Japanese porn stars, like Raylo Black being one of them. Even though she doesn't shoot Jav because she has sex with black people. And sometimes that's like, I guess, not allowed.
Okay.
Jav has like a lot of restrictions from what I understand. Like,
Yeah.
It's all very secretive as well.
Yeah, it's like very, very, it's very hardcore. But other than that kind of stuff, other than like the actual sex worker's perspective on it as a consumer, like I want to, well, there's a couple things. One, blurred penises and pussies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Someone
I
needs to
agree.
be like the brave guy who just fucking fights for that in Japan. Like someone needs
He
to.
dies on.
Yeah, like someone needs to be like the guy who's like, oh yeah, let's do an anti-censorship law or something.
It's hard to be that guy who's like, all right, please vote for me. By the way, one of my main policies is removing the
Not the main one. Don't make it the main one.
Sneak it in.
I think that would either like.
I think it might work.
I think it could work, or like it would either backfire or immediately get you elected. There's no in between. There's no in between.
No, I want to teach I want to talk to the Japanese people out here. Like I know AOC and a bunch of like American politicians like came to Japan recently, like right as I was coming in. Yeah. Because I was actually gonna originally do a podcast with her here because I was like thinking like we're both here, we'll link up here. Yeah. Then I was like, well, fuck, I can just do it in America. It doesn't matter. But they came and talked to some politicians, and I was like, fuck, I want to be one of those envoys who like teaches sneaky ways of earmarking things into bills. You know what I mean? Go to the how do you say it? Is it diet or diet?
Diet, I think.
Diet?
Yeah.
Just go to the diet and just fucking pass legislation that is completely unrelated, but then hide that shit in there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I would like to say something.
Yeah, just like add that in there, sneak it in. Don't even mention it. Everyone will be like wink, wink, nod. Like no one's
Yes,
gonna be.
Your Honor. In the not killing orphan bills, I did sneak in a no blurring porn rule.
Yeah.
Sue me.
Yeah, and then because this is how it works in America. Because then if people say, "Oh wow, there's a dick blurring law in here," you'd be like, "You want orphans to die?" Like nobody wants to be against the Don't Murder Orphans bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, you want to talk about unrelated things like dicks and pussies? That's kind of weird, bro. We're talking about not killing orphans here. So you have to do that. So that's one problem I have with Jav, and then the other one is like they just look so sad. Like they look so sad when they're doing it.
That is one problem I have as well. It's like they look and sound like they're in pain.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not hot.
Yeah, I've never been able to fire one off the Jav for that reason. Like I want to because like the actors are beautiful.
They're also like 3 hours long, so it's way harder to like scrub through it.
Yeah.
They've had that shit out like a Dragon Ball episode.
Yeah.
Some jabs try to like put a proper storyline in there.
They do,
work.
Dude, there's jabs that are like full on like episodic series.
Yeah.
And that has like an A plot and a B plot.
Yeah, it's
like
insane how much work they put into the story and how much they care about that. But I ain't got 3 hours of me to jack off, man.
Oh.
They also need to, man, the camera work is so bad. So they need to get some like American producers out who are like doted.
I agree with that too. Like the angles are not doing anybody favors.
No.
There's just a lot.
Terrible.
There's a lot.
The amateur thing kind of works though. I don't know. Maybe it works in the favor for it.
maybe.
I mean, clearly, it must be like
very
very
popular.
successful and very popular in Japan. So
It's
like,
very popular, I think, in China as well. Like, it's
really?
really well in China.
yeah, I think China has like started doing their own like they market it as Jav, I think, but it's not. But it's not like and they don't censor it because I've seen that.
That's how you
Like,
tell the difference.
Yeah. No, literally. Like I think they do that. And then another thing I know, like they shoot it in the Philippines sometimes.
Right.
Like they'll get like Japanese actresses to shoot in the Philippines so they can like override the Jav rules.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know a lot about the mechanics of porn and because of like my
It's like jack off chicks. You're like, God, the fucking supply chain.
no. It's just like I know about it because like my advocacy for sex work.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like it's very detailed and very interesting when you think about it. But as a consumer, when I look at it, I'm just like, bro, you are so sad.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to jerk off. I want to help you. Like, what's going on?
I can fix it.
I can fix it.
like what's happening? Like, I'm expecting like a Taken style situation where like Liam Neeson bursts through the door. Doesn't have to be a white guy, but like bursts through the door and like saves her, and then they fuck in a loving way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never understood Japanese censorship laws when it comes to like pornography.
Yeah.
Because you look at some stuff that in hentai and some like most fucked up decrepit shit you can think
Yeah.
of, but don't show the penis.
Wasn't it originally for something with America or something being involved? I can't remember if it was.
See, I'm trying to remember because I remember they covered this in Naked Director.
Yeah, I feel like they changed it preemptively. I think.
I thought it predates like even like post World War II Japan. I thought it was like
because all the traditional paintings.
No, like because like the ukiyo-e, which is
Go
like the
out.
kind of like the pornographic paintings from like the Edo period,
Go
were
out.
all
Bro.
everything was out.
Too much. They,
Dude, America instilled puritanical values in Japan too. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, well, the reason tentacle hentai exists was because that was their way to get around censorship. Because
Which is why I thought it predates it because I thought hentai existed before like tentacle porn existed, right?
Well, the tentacle concept was from this ukiyo-e from I think it's like the 1700s.
Yeah.
But like I think
modern
yeah, when
That's
the
a little
modern
odd,
stuff
like,
came out.
yeah, because like back in that painting, the tentacles didn't look like penises, but they figured out that they could make something look. If something looks like a penis but technically isn't a penis, we don't need to blur that out.
Exactly.
And so that was the way they got around that.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like that's just like that sucks. They should just show the penises.
Yeah, like also just like some of the hentai and like JAV I've seen, the censoring is just so lazy to the point where it's like it's no secret what's behind the censoring.
Yeah.
feel
Like
bad
I know
for
what's
them.
happening.
I feel so bad for the Judas to censor 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because you look at the censorship and you realize that's someone's job to
Someone's
sit there
manually
and
moving
frame
it,
by
yeah.
frame blur out all of the
You know
penises.
the thing is that it's not like you said it's like get lazy, but like the actual like blurring. So if you ever had to blur a video,
Yeah.
you know it's not easy to get the shapes.
Yeah.
The-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they are doing it like as little as possible. Don't let the customers get angry if they blur too much.
Yeah.
And it's like just the right amount of pixels, and they're moving it all the time. Like this is psychotic.
Millions
Just
of
get rid this.
frames,
I'm
right?
surprised the editors haven't had an uprising and lobbied to get rid of this.
You can tell. Sometimes you see a JV, and you can tell that the censorship guy definitely loved their jobs because you can always tell. There's always the surface area of the censorship. Some are just like cutting it close, and some are just like, we're just gonna cover half the fucking body.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
That's a master in his craft.
Yeah, right.
What was your
Said it was America. Well, they did it like preemptively.
censor America?
No, they like
The
they
penises,
said
yeah.
self-censored
Penises.
around the same. I
Yeah,
thought it was
America's done a lot of fucked up shit to Japan.
What
I'll
was
say
the
it.
reason?
Not a controversial take.
One of the censoring that was like so the Meiji period, the Pacific War, did have like a part doing the censor like a lot of like
Yeah, so it was the Meiji Restoration, right? Which is basically when Japan started incorporating Western like political values and stuff like that.
That is the most common. That is literally the entire planet. Like like even I mean I've talked about this before, not to get too political, but like I talk about this on my stream all the time. Of like homosexuality, for example, in like the Ottoman era in Turkey or even in like the MENA region was not even considered. Like it was just like normal mode of existence. You know, people are gay, who gives a fuck, whatever. And it's like Western attitudes that against homosexuality. That stem back to like I guess the dark ages and you know wanting to make sure that like you know a father and a wife like a you know father and a mother stayed together instead of like going out and fucking dudes so that they could have as many children as possible so they could repopulate at a time when like children were just like dying nonstop and you needed more farmhands. That culture and that attitude absolutely it was the reason why so many cultures even all the way out here in the Far East are homophobic.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not educated enough on this.
No.
yeah. It's just it's interesting to think about that like it's such a powerful thing that you know you just slowly but surely change the way people view their you know daily existence and then they take it on themselves and you know and that's how you get blurred dicks and penises in Japanese adult video.
God damn it.
It's fucked up.
It's all those farmers in the dark ages, man. If it wasn't for them, we would have been able to see everything.
It's like the Domino meme. It's like farmers in the dark ages.
Censored JV.
Hentai.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's the church, man. They fucking ruined everything.
Yeah, because censorship had back in the Tokugawa period as well. It's like Christianity is like, so they have to censor and ban all those books away from people.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Damn Christianity.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
So we've been here for like over an hour and a half now. We haven't asked you how your time in Japan's been yet.
Yeah.
You've been living your best weeb life.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so I love it, dude. It seems insane that like people just live here and like go to work. No, I'm not
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
It's wild, dude. Like people just fucking straight up go to work and like and live here. When you think about it, I'm like everything is awesome.
That is the most weeb thing you've said all
You
podcast.
are the biggest weeb I've met.
fucking weeb ever.
No,
You are literally the people which is like thing in Japan. It's like, oh!
no, but like it is like that. People don't understand it. No, like, literally, it is like that.
Oh my god.
It's I don't know what it is. Like I mean, it's
There's
just
a magic to it. I think there definitely
it's
is.
not supposed to work. Like Japan is not supposed to work, but it works somehow. I don't know
What do you
how.
mean?
Just everything is everything that I would normally look to with like my political understandings and like everything I know about the world. Like Japan basically took on and was like, no, we'll make it work, and it does somehow. Like you have 3,800 homeless people in the entire fucking island, but like at the same time, it's not like the country's doing really well economically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Younger generations are very frustrated with the lack of opportunity. People are just not dying so much so that you got fucking Japanese Yale economists talking about how like, oh, I have a solution, kill yourself to the older people. You know what I mean? You have all this shit that's like so. You have what I would consider to be like.
Oh my goodness.
Not just my phone. It's just my phone. You have what I would consider to be like a ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? Like capitalism is like hyper capitalist, but it's held together by like thousands of years of like rigid structure and tradition and like unflinching in the face of like you know a world that is constantly being like no things should be very different, like things should be more free. So in some ways it's shitty, like with the you know the hentai stuff or
That's at the top of the list.
The blurring of Japan's social issues, censored hentai.
like blurring of the penises and vaginas, like that's weird. But also at the same time, I think like that is still the reason why you know you have such an emphasis on like cleaning your own space, making sure that you have making sure that you leave the place better than you first.
left it.
Yeah.
It's a very like I would say like collectivist, but like that collectivist society creates like very selfless people. Or
Yeah.
you know where it's like I'm at the bottom of the priority and everybody else is above me kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
it's like that, and when everybody is like that, then everyone's looking out for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because at the same time, it's like insanely capitalist. So you're like, how the fuck does this work? Because in America, we're insanely capitalist. It's a hyper capitalist dystopia, but then also people are hyper individualist. So when you have that, that's when you get to like no healthcare, everybody has a gun, you know, full freedom. You have the freedom to like die from, you know, not getting your diseases treated, right?
Right.
But you don't have that in Japan. You have the economic structure, which I think is like wild and you know inherently incredibly exploitative. But then it still somehow works, and I still haven't figured out exactly what the fuck's going on. Like I don't know how it works.
I don't even think Japan's figured that shit out. dude.
I just like it doesn't make any sense because like
I mean, I guess that's why they call it a post-war economic miracle, right?
yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people just take a lot of pride and a lot of care in what they do in a way that is kind of hard to expect of people in Western countries because we'd be like, fuck that, I'm not working. I'm not doing a job at McDonald's for $5 an hour. Whereas I think in Japan, there's not really that concept of, you know, fuck your employer for not paying you enough. There's like no such.
You take what you're given, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but also like, how do they survive? You know what I mean? Like that's the other. That's what I don't understand. You guys have talked about, you know, like anime, not voice actors obviously, but like the people that draw.
Animators,
Yeah, the animators. Like, how the fuck do they survive?
By doing multiple jobs.
No, but doing multiple jobs, or you know, as you might have noticed, stuff in
Overworking.
Japan is overworking, or stuff is really cheap in Japan.
That's
as well.
true.
Like,
It is very
if you
cheap,
want to
yeah.
live off literally the bare essentials, you can kind of do it pretty cheap in Japan.
yeah, you want to live well, but you can
do
survive.
it.
You know.
That does blow my mind though. Like, cause housing. You know what I mean? Like that's a
Housing's
huge
crazy,
problem.
Yeah, so that is a big problem in Tokyo.
Yeah, and not even just in Tokyo, but like, I don't understand how they spend so much less money overall, and yet like this is an issue that they've been able to not fully eradicate, obviously.
No, I mean the
but
economy
certainly
is not
still do a lot better than America.
great. In some aspects, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The best example is the railway system, right?
Right. I mean,
It's
that
a
is
it's a
like-
marvel. Obviously, it's like originally it's government funded because you have to do it like that. That's a massive infrastructure project. You have to get the government and the tax dollars to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
But also now it's like fully privatized.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you see like so many railway switches in between and like all this like frustrating, all these like frustrating things that you experience without even realizing why it's happening. Well, that's because it's owned by like multiple different companies, right? But it still fucking works.
Yeah.
It still works. It's not supposed to. In America, those trains would be fucking eating each other every day. They would literally be like hitting each other nonstop.
The most inconvenience you get in Japan in terms of it being different companies competing is that I guess you have to change gates.
Yeah.
So you go on the metro, you have to clock, you have to go.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
It's literally the like bare minimum.
And that's crazy when you have like such a intricate system and yet the trains fucking run on time.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not supposed to be that way. Like it doesn't make sense. You go to the UK, a lot of places where railway is nationalized have privatized. Shouts out to Margaret Thatcher, that fucking bitch. But like,
it was good. I was like, oh,
no. Of
Leah,
course
she ruined
not.
it.
No, exactly. So like that privatization has genuinely destroyed like what is otherwise something that people hold on to as a lifeline. Because like if you're poor, that's the one thing you have. You know what I mean? Like that's how you travel. We don't even have that in America. So like that's a foreign concept. Public transit is like not even a thing.
Yeah.
And you see that like privatization is supposed to destroy the things that otherwise government should be able to handle, but in Japan it just fucking works, and it works really well, and it like blows my mind when I watch it, when I see it.
Well, I think there's just a general kind of like culture in Japan where no matter what your job is, you should take pride in your work to make it the best it can